Welcome back to another episode of Mind Puzzles. In today's video, we are going to go over different mating patterns that every beginner should know. If you want to improve your elo rating, don't forget to like and subscribe. So let's get started. The first mating pattern that I'll show you is how to mate with the queen only, a queen and a king. Many beginners get stuck when they have only a queen and a king left. I think that it happened to us at least once, not know how to checkmate. So in this position, it's very important to not give endless checks. If you start giving checks, you will do no progress with this position. We are not going to do any progress. We are just going to give checks back and forth. Okay, so what I should do in this position is cut the escape of the enemy king. You can do this with a few moves. D7 works, E6 works, and even #3 works. Now it really depends on you which one you want. The best moves are E6 and #3. So let's play E6 for example. Now black is forced to get closer to the edge of the board. For example, he plays F5, sorry. He's getting close to this part of the edge of the board. If he plays G4 in this position, he gets closer to the edge of the board. Anything that black does, he gets closer to the edge of the board. For example, the game can continue like this, and you get in this position. Now, when you got the king closed up, when he has limited room to bait, you should get your king closer. And this is how you mate. So let's remember what we've learned. Bring the queen close to the enemy king, cut the escape squares of it, and actually be careful so you don't stalemate him. Because if it goes to something like this is stalemate, for example. So be very careful that you don't stalemate him. Okay, so the next mate pattern that I want to show you is how to mate with a rook only. So what you will want to do is to do the same thing that you did with the queen. Cut off the escape squares of the enemy king. Like this, we played E4 to cut the escape squares. The king cannot get to the center, so he's forced to play this move, which we can counter with a king move, just simply rotating like our king like this and starting to cut the escape squares of him. See how we slowly get into the edge of the board. Chess, it should be a patience game. You should be patient when you want to checkmate him. Now, since you got him to the edge of the board, what should your next move be? So as you can see, he has 2 legal squares. Make sure he has 1 legal square, or 2. In this case, 1. So if you play something like this is a stalemate. But this is not a stalemate. So this is checkmate because this is covered by the king and this is covered by the rook, of course, and the king has nowhere to go. Now moving on to the next puzzle or position is mating with the queen and a rook. I'm going to show you a pattern called the ladder, a staircase, or the ladder mate. Here, white has a few checks. This one, this one, this one, this one as well. He can check with the rook here. Yeah, he has lots of checks, but what I want you to show you is the staircase example. As you can see, you dance with the queen and the rook here. You do something like a staircase or a ladder. You oscillate between, you switch between the rook and the queen. Moving on to the next position is how to mate with bishops only. Okay, I forgot the arrow that I do. So, this is white to play. In this position, white should play f5, cutting off the escapes and cutting off the escape of the king and making him get closer. For example, if black would like to survive, he will stay in the center as much as he could. And again, you should slowly get closer to him. Like, you should cut the escapes of him, as I said. As you can see, slowly his escape squares are being covered by my bishops and king. See how I've coordinated my bishops here to make a diagonal attack? This is what you should do. Block the diagonals and use the king to block the front. Okay, now be really careful because this is stalemate. So again, be careful of the stalemate steps that your opponent might play. So let's think a little bit. If I play check here, my opponent can move here. I can play check again here, and he can move here. I've done no progress to my position. But what are other moves that he can play? Well, I can play bishop here, which cuts these squares, this diagonal from the king. But he can play he can play like this. So let's do this. See, he has one legal square. Now, again, we should be careful of stalemate because this is a stalemate, as I said, and it's not mate because there's one escape here. He has one escape, so we should bring the king closer, but make sure he cannot get away from the edge of the board. Okay, so this is not mate again. This is covered. So we should try to get him in a corner. Let's try to do this. We need to cut this escape, or maybe this one. For example, if we play like this, you can come here. So what I will do is play this move. Again, I've cut the escape of him, this escape square. Now my next move, in my opinion, should be bishop c7 because that's another escape of the king. Sorry. See, what I did? I did here. I moved the king so it faces him. Because if he moves here, there's no escape square here. If he moves here, I just can do something. I can do this, which blocks this diagonal, but I'm going to run into problems, so I can play this move and cut this diagonal, but it's very hard. For example, if you play something like this, I will recommend playing this move. Get your bishops and try to get him into the edge of the board. Let's see what went wrong here. Keep the position. Okay, I've got this escape of the king. And what I will do now is play this move, so it covers this quest. Now he has two options. This move, which is a tricky one because you can actually stalemate him if you play this move. If you play this move, this is stalemate. If you play this move, this is not mate because you can escape. So what move should we play here? Well, my recommendation is King F7 because it leaves the black king with only one square, which leads to an easy checkmate. So I hope that you learned something new in this video and have a beautiful day. Stay safe. And don't forget to subscribe and like my videos.